Hello, everybody. Last 24-ish hours here, and I just wanted to hop on and do one final little educational point when we are talking about sugar and your body's response to it, and then just a little encouragement and mindset shift at the end of this. So, starting off briefly with some sugar education. So I had one of my girls on my team this week say, hey, are there fruits that you want us to avoid? Should we not be eating fruits? And I had a freak out moment of like, have you not been eating fruits this whole time? And she said, no, I'm just more of a vegetable girl anyways. And I know that some fruits are a little bit higher in sugars and fructose. And so I was just curious. The short answer is you could get into the weeds on that, but we are never going to demonize fruit, especially if you're not eating anything but whole foods. It's really hard to overeat fruit. Fruit has a ton of minerals in them, vitamins in them that are good for you. So please eat fruit to your heart's desire. However, having said that, it brought a good point to my mind of sugar is a little bit more complex than what we think of it. There are multiple types of sugar. So you have glucose, fructose, and sucrose. And which one you're predominantly getting does massively affect what occurs in your body. And that's why we suggest staying away from things that have high fructose corn syrup, which is not just your candies, but it's a lot of your dressings as well as condiments as well. And sticking to whole foods. And this is why. So glucose can be used by every single cell in the body. Every single organ can convert glucose into energy. And this is what our body needs to survive, right? So you have something that has glucose in it, and your blood sugar is going to spike, insulin is going to release, and it's going to drive the glucose into the cell for energy. That's what we want. Then you have fructose and sucrose. So sucrose, we're going to talk the least about. It's actually 50-50 breaks down to 50-50 glucose and fructose. Fructose, which is found in fruit and honey and root vegetables, so it is naturally occurring, but obviously you know the coin term high fructose corn syrup, or it's going to be more predominant in things like fruit juice or dried fruits. Cannot be used by every single cell in the body. In fact, it only can be used and converted as energy in the liver. So when we have foods that are high in fructose, not fruit, and I'm going to get to what the caveat on that is, but high fructose corn syrup, candy, condiments, what occurs is the liver gets bogged down. It's bottlenecked by the liver. The liver is trying to convert it. It's trying to metabolize it. It can store it as glycogen stores for later on so that you have an energy source, but the reality that it's going to be able to use all of the fructose that you've consumed is low. And so what it ends up doing as a result is it will actually drive whatever it can't use into your fat stores, and it converts it into fat. And so that is where the cycle of like not being able to lose weight comes in. The other thing that's important to know with fructose, outside of the fact that it gets bottlenecked by the liver, it rapidly converts into fat stores, is it doesn't trigger insulin to be released or leptin, which is your fullness hormone. So you tend to be hungry quicker, where foods that are higher in glucose is going to drive energy into the cell and satisfy you. So you're left bogging down your liver, which we learned in our sleep series is imperative to our sleep, our hormone regulation, our stress hormone regulation, our cognitive function. So when you have high sugars, you're bogging down that system even more. You're rapidly increasing your fat stores, and you're going to be hungry again quicker. There are other things that are a little bit deeper into the science level as to why fructose is a no-no in high quantities. But here's the caveat on fruit that I wanted to tell you guys. Why fruit is not an issue is because fruit contains other fibers, It contains a lot of water, so it's hydrating. It contains phytonutrients. All of these things slow absorption down in the gut. And so you're actually getting the benefits, the vitamins, the phytonutrients, all of that from the fruit, the hydration, and you're not having that same burden onto your liver as you would if it was like fruit juice, orange juice, not fresh squeeze, because when you fresh squeeze, you're not going to squeeze 10 oranges and have a glass of orange juice. You're going to squeeze 1 to 2, so it would be like eating 1 to 2 oranges, where if you drink a glass of orange juice, you're really drinking like 10 to 15 oranges, dried fruit, things like that. So that's just a quick little tidbit. Going forward, we really hope that these shifts seem valuable enough to you to maintain them, and that you gained a little bit of knowledge as to why we're not just saying candy is bad. There's actually something happening on a cellular level that is causing negative effects that you don't want. They're side effects that you complain about, and so if we're complaining about them, is our goals and our actions actually matching? And a lot of times we find that they're not. And so we hope that through this 6-week process, your goals and your actions started to match, and that you're encouraged to keep this up. And that's really leads into my shift change. Yeah, my shit is mine. My mind, see, my mind shift change of, it's not restriction. It's not, I have to become more strict on myself. My willpower is weak. No, your willpower is not weak. Your body is hungry, and it's telling you it's hungry. It needs energy, and it's smart, so it's telling you you're hungry. When you have cravings, it's not that you're weak. It's not that you don't have willpower. It's literally that your body needs nutrition. So starting to shift of like, it's not what I'm restricting. It's not my willpower. It's just, what do I want out of my life? Take a 10-minute, 15-minute assessment and really assess, like, how do I want to feel every morning? How do I want to sleep every night? How do I want to be able to function at the gym? And am I willing to make changes that match what my desires are? And it's okay at the end of the day if you're like, I want the beer, I want the candy, I'm okay with the acne, the headaches, the hormonal shifts. I genuinely don't mean that sarcastically. Like, you just have to have a real conversation with yourself of what you're willing to give and take and what's more valuable to you. When you identify that what is of value to you, then you will start to be able to make the daily habit changes, or revert back to old habit changes. And either way, that's okay, because your lifestyle is going to match what you've identified as important to you. So that's my biggest suggestion to you at the end of this is identify what is important to you, and then start to live out a lifestyle that matches that. And then going forward, we'll give it about a week for everyone to get onto the Hume scale. I'll be tallying up points, and I'll name our top 5 and then our winner. And then we'll have a sign-up sheet for anyone who is interested in continuing to work with Matt from a nutrition standpoint, one-on-one. We're gonna have a sign-up so you can sit down and talk to him and see what that looks like. For anyone who is interested in working with me on a skill progression, and that can be anything, whether it is a strict ring muscle up, a strict or kipping bar muscle up, handstand push-ups, strict pull-ups, or chest-to-bar pull-ups. If you would like to work with me for one-on-one programming, and what that would look like, we'll have a sign-up sheet for that as well. All right, so we're really proud of all of you guys. We've had some great feedback, and we're excited for what's to come in 2026 with our CrossFit Tampa Bay family. Love you guys.